Hi, and good night, and welcome to Bench Talk. My name is Jason Clark, and I'm joined by my fellow co-hosts Hassani Evening, Damian Reed, Dwayne Collymore, and Akeem Nero. Tonight, we are also joined by very special guests, West Indies, Barbados and West Indies fast bowler, Mr. Kemar Roach.
Good night, gentlemen.
Good night, Mr. Roach.
Welcome.
Good night, man. Welcome. Thanks for giving up your time.
Thanks, man. No problem.
Yeah, I want to thank you for joining us, Kemar. How are you doing? I believe that at this point in time you're already in England. Is correct?
Yeah. I'm in England now in quarantine. Got tested on Tuesday. One more test on Saturday. I'm free to go.
Okay. Well, I hope that all goes well there. You're in England, so I know it has to be pretty late over there. So I really want to thank you once again for giving us the time to have a quick chat with you. But before we get into the chat, Kemar, I just want to say special thanks. Give a special shout out to our sponsors for tonight's show. We have Essentials by V, who has the latest in cell phone accessories. Sauce on Saturdays. You get your nice sauce from our very own Dwayne Collymore. And also juice blends where you could get all of your nuts and juices from passion fruit, tamarind, five finger, cherry, just to name a few. And later on in the show we'll have some giveaways, compliments of those sponsors. So yeah, stay tuned, guys.
We gotta get cornet bench. It's true. Yeah.
Kemar, I want to start here with you're in Australia to the cricket, from school, coming up and you're into cricket, Kemar Roach was a name that, was it kept ringing from like I said, from school that you went on to play represent the West Indies on the 19, went on to obviously represent the West Indies senior team. So I want to know, where did this, passion from cricket come from?
Good question. I guess it came from being in the north of the country. I grew up right next to a cricket pastor at Lord's Cricket Ground. And I just went on the evenings when the guys were practicing with my stepfather and just run around and collect balls and throw them back and try to bowl, try to bat or whatever. And I just started falling in love with the game. I went to the games with him. He taught me a lot about the game and stuff, and I just kept practicing and kept going, and obviously here's a finished product.
Right. You made your test debut in 2009. You started off pretty good. You had 13 wickets in your first 2 matches against Bangladesh. As you clearly said, it has always been a dream of yours. So, what was it like, finally putting on that West Indies jersey and actually performing at such a high level?
It was always a privilege and an honor to represent the region. Obviously, before me were some great players. So to be a part of that is obviously a huge achievement. So yeah, it was the uncomfortable circumstances when I started. There was a strike, and obviously I went to participate in it, and I made my career from there. So it's been a long journey. Some good memories so far. Hopefully, can get some more, but I'm definitely enjoying the journey right now.
Okay. Shortly after, I think it was the end of 2009, 2010 series against Australia. You were in the headlines against Australia. You kind of ruffled one of the best batsmen in the world at that point in time. One of my favorite players of all time, Ricky Ponting. I remember after the test at Adelaide, Ricky publicly said, Kemar, he's very quick, and you feel a little uneasy when you're at the crease and you're facing him. You're young in your career. What was it like hearing those kind of comments from one of the greatest batsmen to ever play the game of cricket?
I'm surprised to hear that. I didn't actually hear that when it was down there. I got a lot of pressure from the Australians. in that whole series. But yeah, young guy, I was fearless. Had nothing to prove. I was young, starting my career, so I just wanted to get out there and just give it my all. Express myself, and that incident happened. I kind of started my career and just started it from there. So yeah, it was good memories, man. I really enjoyed playing in Australia. Cricket is very tough. It's obviously a tough cricket side, and pros are fantastic. And yeah, it was good memories, man, for sure.
Glad to hear. I don't know if any of the guys want to ask some questions there before I jump back in a little bit.
Good night, Mr. Roach. Oh.
You can go ahead, you can go ahead.
Okay. Good night, Mr. Roach. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Before you get to my question, I just want the public to know I was responsible for about 200 to 300 Kemar Roach flip catches. Just want back in the day. 200 to 300. Short story time. Majority of people know Kemar, as the humble West Indies legend. This word is being carried around a lot now. But there was this one day I don't think you remember, but I will never forget. He really got me angry. We was preparing for the under-19 tournament, the local under-19 tournament. So the team was being selected, probably the same week. All right, now, I can't really keep my mouth shut. I knocked along by Alexander, so I go and attack the big dog. So you remember? We could destroy you, he said. He take a half new boy. He scratched one side. The only ball I hit is the ones I hit my finger, right? The only ones I hit is the one I hit my finger, right? I crawl now. I said, shh, I can't play now because Vaughn can't pick me after this. I was so cool, right? We had a net, and I went behind net and field. I was so upset. Yeah, boy, but Vaughn picked me and I went on the score 77, but it's not about me. It's about you tonight. Right. So right now, Mr. Roach, you're sitting on 214 wickets. Test boys. For right now, what is the next goal? Would you say the immediate goal is 300 wickets or 100 tests? Or would you take both?
Hopefully, you get 300 before you get 100 tests. The immediate goal is 250. Let's try for 250 first.
250. Okay.
Put me in the top 5 of all time for the West Indies. So that's my immediate goal right now. And then when you get there, we'll see how long we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Good night, Roachy.
Yeah.
I just want to ask a quick. You had a period where you were injured in the game. I think you had gotten a car accident, and you were out to the West Indies side for a bit. I want to know what really motivated you from that low position to regain your strength and achieve such a feat of 200 plus test wickets for the West Indies in this current squad.
For me, it was really mental. And my skill was always there. I always thought I will be able to always take wickets once I keep myself fit and strong. So for me, it's more mental. Yes, I had a very tough period. I think between 2014 and 2016. Yeah, that was probably the toughest period of my career. A lot of injuries. Then the car accident happened. A lot of other things, man. It was a very tough period for me, and yeah, it was pretty down on confidence. But for me, it's just about picking yourself up and getting back out there. I had a very good support team. The guys, Corey Cullimore, Peter Vaughan, most of the friends that I grew up with from school and stuff, Lunchies and those guys. Nero would know Lunchy. Those guys really picked me back up, man. Pick me back up and get back on my feet. So I'm always grateful. I'm always thankful. I try to repay them any way I can because that was a very defining part of my career there.
Yeah, another quick question before we move on to somebody else. I just want to answer. I noticed that you seem to like a challenge from a batter. I just want to ask you, in your career, who would you say is the most challenging batter that you had to bowl at? that really test Kemar Roach's skill?
Honestly, Jack Yanis.
Tough remember character. That test down here. Remember that. That was very.
Tough character. Very, very tough character.
I think so. If I got 40 all the way, ping.
We care to share what was said in that exchange between you and Callis that caused that really fired up Kemar.
He said something in his language. What I heard was something in his language. South Africans speak this language called Afrikaans. And he said something in his language, and I misinterpreted it for something else.
Okay.
A little bit further. Yeah, so Chris got involved, Shiv got involved.
Suli.
Yeah, Ben
it was Suli.
Yeah, Suli. Yeah, good time.
But yeah, it was.
The commentator said it was a nasty blow. Oh, you need to get it checked out.
Yeah. Hassani, sorry, for you, were asking any more questions to Roach?
I got a lot of questions, to be honest. I just
give you fellas a turn. I got more though.
Yeah, I was gonna give you fellas a chance, but since you insist, Roach, you can see the atmosphere in the team currently seems to be on the up. You know, a lot of the guys seem to be playing more together. You're seeing it even in the one-day side. You're seeing it in the T20 side. They seem to be meshing. Any insights as to what will bring about such a change, a drastic change? And it really, you can see it has the Caribbean in that feel-good spirit, you know? People are now buzzing about West Indies cricket once again. You see that a lot of players, competition for players now due to the Bangladesh series, but I don't know if you could share any insights into what will bring about this this feel good and this such a mesh in the West Indies that a lot of people haven't seen in a long time.
Honestly, yeah, it was always there. Trust me, the dressing room was always a lively one. There are a lot of characters in the dressing room. There's Jason, and then there's myself, and then there's Shannon. So I think winning brings that out a little bit more. So that test series in Bangladesh was a very, very it really boosted it a lot because that's our first away win in a very long time. And it was on very tough conditions as well. So in a bubble, and then obviously in Bangladesh, you're not going to get what you want. The food was the best. The hotels were great, but the cricket was very different for what we accustomed to at home. So to win that series 2-love in Bangladesh, not much teams have been to Bangladesh and done that. That really boosted the team a lot. So coming back, it was an all feel good and a high aura in the team, and it just filtered over into the Sri Lanka series as well. So that's why you're seeing the guys more as Trippier or the guys are putting in bigger efforts. So they're laughing more, just because of that winning feeling, man. That winning feeling in the team right now.
Yeah, thanks. I can get somebody else on the floor.
Good night, Kemar. Thanks again. I just got my general question is, what's this? You got a deep affiliation for bowling at left-handers, like a deep.
Yeah, get hard in his hand.
Like when you see left-hand, yes, you've taken wickets against right-handers, but you see a fire in your eyes, like when is a left-hander locked in, when you know you have him, just a matter of when he can give you the wicket, but you know you already have him. What's going to that thinking? What's be the mentality?
I guess I've found something that really works now. Before I used to stick around over the wicket a lot more, angle the ball across the left-handers, and that was effective for a bit, but we all know most left-handers are very strong square the wicket on the offside. So this actually started in England, and everybody else is watching. I know he be chirping at this. He's the person who actually got me to come around the wicket and try a different angle. I didn't agree with it. It took me like a month before I actually buy into it and start to work on it more. And to be honest, it gave me a lot more wickets than I expected. So I guess it's all about learning. Listen to our voice, obviously taking it on sometimes and just try to put it in practice and then perfect it in the game. So right now, I am backing myself against any left hand.
Any left hand.
Left hand.
Any left hand right now.
Okay.
Another thing, schools cricket. I guess we were sharing the story pre-show about the legend of Kemar Roach through school cricket. Like everybody said, me and one player Alexander, you got to face Kemar Roach. You got to face Kemar. Obviously, back then you were like legit express, and then everybody was talking when they first. As I tell you, watch again though, Alexandra. I was looking for this big, stocky, tall fast bowler tearing the bar off of me. Instead of the sharp. You didn't believe the height till you see it. Like you was hearing it. Like I had an expectation, traditional tall West Indies fast bowler charging it, sharp fella. Then the only way to believe it is when you had struck Brooks on the helmet. I was like, that was because the action is not. It's just a quick action. Ball there, like how do you manage to generate pace? And you don't run in fast, you just come in.
Gazelle.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I first came to Alexander School, I was left from school as a batsman, basically. But when I got to Alexander School, Peter Vaughan saw the athleticism in me. I was a sprinter as well, so he turned me into a bowler, kind of. And believe it or not, first form, second form, I swung the ball a lot. I had a really big in swinger. Those who know me, really, really big. And I didn't have much pace. I didn't have much pace at all. But when I got in third form, fourth form, it just kicked off, man. I don't know where it came from. Probably from bowling a lot or whatever, but it just kicked off. And yeah, I can say it was pretty rapid. It was pretty rapid.
It was art.
Yeah, so that was good memories for sure. That was really, really good memories. You know, rolling back some memories for sure.
Yeah, that was quite a lot. It was a lot of helmets in that era. It was a lot of fear.
Yeah,
and not only that, the keeper at that time, the keeper Alexander used to be like, don't be fake. So every message you just say your ping.
It's true. It's true.
Doesn't make sense more if I like Alexander.
Yeah. So then, take us to. I just want to know, the after school lessons on the 19th. Then the progression before your first call up, the progression like playing for Barbados. Because not everyone might know the traditional journey. Because sometimes some persons get fast track more than others, but you will make you the ringer.
Yeah, on the 19th, I played on 15 as well for Barbados in St. Vincent. Then I went on 19. The first four was in St. Vincent as well, I think. Yeah. Then the World Cup was after that, 2006.
You could remember who else was in that World Cup with you? That's still playing cricket now?
Shamar Brooks. Good question, bro.
Any international players?
Leon Johnson. Kieran Paul. Kieran Paul was there as well. Sunil Narine. Andre Fletcher was also in that squad.
Spice.
Devon Searles. He was a very talented ball.
Okay, Searles is outside as well.
Yeah, a couple of guys a couple of guys.
Anybody from the other countries you remember?
Yeah, Gajana Singh from Guyana. William Perkins from Trinidad as well.
Oh, she was in. Wow.
Yeah, he played with
Perkins, yeah.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, $1 million cash out. That's not for money. That's not for money, boy. You ain't need to.
Yeah.
Like anybody from cause I was trying to remember and research in terms of Australia, England.
Who
was around that age group the same time?
From India was Pujara. Pujara Reina was from India. I remember. Australia had Mose Henriquez and Kawaja. I think Steve Smith was a part of that too. I could be wrong. I think Steve Smith was there as well.
And he was probably there as a leg spinner then.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't remember much. No problem.
Really, any questions from you?
Yeah, I got a few, man, but I'll just start with two for now. Yeah, good night or good morning, because it's morning over there in England. You've played all over the world. Give me your favorite country and your favorite ground.
Favorite country? Other than Caribbean, or he's going?
Other than Caribbean.
Other than Caribbean, yeah. Other than Caribbean.
All right, let me go other than Caribbean then.
Other than Caribbean, I would say I like Australia country. Favorite ground would probably be Lords, England.
Lords. Yeah.
If you talk about Caribbean,
It's Antigua. Saviv. Can only be Saviv. Only be Saviv.
Yep.
But you're right, Corner is good at Kennington over too. It's not bad.
I was going there now. Let me flash back to that was 2019 against England when we won 2-1. Talk me through that fight. I think it was 5-9. Talk me through that spell there.
Okay, it's play for 17. It's play for 17.
17.
Yeah,
he's a man of numbers. He's a man of numbers. Yeah, he's a man of numbers.
Well, yeah, it's just one of those days my ball just came up really well. It started obviously when I think you batted pretty well. We put up like 270 on the first innings. And yeah, I think Shea got a 50. I think John batted really well his first test. Corey had a good partnership with John. I just think we batted fantastic that first inning on a very tough pitch. It was slow. Ball was already coming on as much. But when we bowled, pitch quickened up a little bit more. And it just went from there. I thought the guys bowled exceptionally well to bowl England out for 77, I think it was.
Yeah. Not to mention there were some left-handers, so we all know it was over. It was over then. It was over.
But yeah, balls came out really well, man. At home, the crowd cheering you on, your fans there, families there. Yeah, it's big motivation for sure.
Roach, another question. This is just like a trivia, I guess. You know, usually in the nets, he's got one batter who always is challenged. Who's always challenged. Like I at practice with me and Nero, I simply tell Nero he can't bowl. Simply, I just always tell Nero keep.
And that is all.
I don't know how Nero's out people, but it's just telling you can't bowl. You can't bowl. You don't spin the
asking that same question for years. And I've been watching Nero for years, and I cannot understand.
I don't know, man.
I got Kemar's here. Kemar was my supporting ball at school. Exactly, Kemar had to play the supporting role in me. But we all carry on, man.
So yeah, Roach, I just want to know in the net, who you would say is the batter that is challenged? Not, it don't have to necessarily be you, but challenge the bowlers.
Gotta be Jace.
That would be my guess. That would be my guess.
Jace takes on everyone in the nets. It's very tough. That's probably what brings the best out of him. He hits getting out in the nets for sure. So he gives you talk. He lets you know it's a good ball, when it's a bad ball. He's very chirpy. You can see it now. Like he's way more chirpy.
Yeah. So, you can see it now for sure.
In the nets, he's definitely the one who takes on everybody. The arm, the arm. He's talking to them. The bowlers in the nets. He's talking to them. That's just Jace. Annoying. Very annoying.
Thank you, Mar. All right. Over the last year, 18 months or so, we're hearing the word Kemar and legacy come out a lot. My question to you though is: would you say that playing in an era where West Indies is not as successful as before, would you say that has enhanced or hampered your legacy a bit?
I guess I can't look at it that way. I think, yes, we would love to win more series and more games, but we have to understand too that this team is a very young side. A lot of guys have played under 30 test matches. We compare to the most of the big size in the world. There's guys with 100 test matches, 80 test matches, 60 test matches. So that's kind of factor why we haven't really hit our peak as yet. So in terms of my legacy, I want to say it's affecting it. Every time we step on the West Indies, I give up an effort, 100%. So I just want people to remember me as someone who gave it my all. I never said the attitude, always running in, giving the team what was required. So that for me, that is all part of my legacy.
One more. Wait, Sonny. Seeing that from the Caribbean really tight, we have a culture where we have to see it to believe it. Would you say you have a greater respect or admiration for a guy like Jimmy Anderson, who he's playing at a very high level at about 38, 39? So before in the Caribbean, when a guy gets to 30, you know, we're looking to see, so would you have a greater respect or admiration for him, knowing, well, once you keep yourself in good condition physically, that you could produce at that level?
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't even go as far as Jimmy Anderson. I even start with Fidel. You look at Fidel at 39, still bowling 140 clips, still probably one of the fastest bowlers in the Caribbean. That's pretty amazing. I think we have to get rid of the stigma that at 30, guys are too old for the team. That's crap. That's crap. We got to get rid of that stigma. I think guys understand their game when and now get a 30. That's my belief. Someone is going to be much better cricketer when they're at 30 years old. So that whole stigma of you get 30, it's time to move on with someone younger. Nah, that has to go. But yeah, I'm looking to play as long as I can. For me, I'm 32 now, 33 this year. I'm trying for 36. Let me see what 36 feels like, and then if I can push for 1 or 2 more years, then I'll do that. But
you go from there.
Guys at 38, 39, 40 even. Chris is at 41, 42. And he's still performing in world cricket. So age is just a number, man. It's all mental. It's how your body feels. It's all mental.
Excuse me. 2 more questions quick, Kemar. What is your best game and fondest memory? What's your best game and fondest memory?
My best game. Good question. I think the England Test match in Barbados. Definitely.
Yeah.
I put that there as probably one of the best games. In terms of how we played, we outplayed England totally. Yeah. I think Jason, even that Test match, Jason and Norwich battled the whole day.
Yeah.
Jason and I think our last name again there, Roach.
Norwich.
Okay.
They battled the whole day. So like that's incredible. That's actually quite incredible. So that's probably one of the best games I've ever played in, and the best feeling I've had in a cricket game for sure.
And another one is no being missed the pandemic and what's not. Y'all did the England tour without fans. Like, how was that experience playing without fans? Because athletes around the world and being other sports, other cricketers, you're accustomed to fans. The crowd is what gets you. What's the sense of taking a wicket? Imagine break off. Let me see. Bang Stokes edge, left-hander, traditional. And you'll hear it's like to hear the pop for the fans, but obviously you just hearing yourself in stump mic along with your mates. How was that experience?
Yeah, it was tough. It was new. That tour was the first Corona tour, COVID tour. So everything, all the protocols were new. It was just a whole different feeling. Preparation was different. The atmosphere was different. Yeah, it was just kind of uncomfortable because we didn't know how we would adapt to it. But I guess that's a new norm now. That's how we're going to play for the next couple of years. So it's good to get it out of the system and get cracking on with it. So yeah, it was a tough tour in England. In a room, imagine being in a room. You can't leave. You can't go. You're sitting.
You got all the amenities, boy. Yeah, I understand, boy.
Tough. It's like I call it a luxury prison. It's basically a luxury prison.
All right.
It's tough, man.
Yeah. Reedy, you like to ask any more questions, Reedy?
Yeah. Your jersey number, Kemar, is 24. That was given to you, or did you choose that? If you chose it, is there a significance of the number?
Excuse me.
Not really. There's no significance in number. At the time, there was just a couple of numbers there, and they chose that. I honestly, when I chose it, that's when I wanted to peak. I wanted to peak my best at 24 years old. I wanted to be the best bowler in the world when I got to 24. That was probably the best when I got to 24. So yeah, that's probably it. There's nothing else really to it.
I thought it was for 24 helmets that you hit in your career. I thought it was or 24 big tools, something, 24 LBWs, 24 bulls, you know, maybe something.
Yeah.
But usually, question usually though, Roach, he was wondering, usually the West Indies number, you give you the option to choose, are they?
Yeah, they give you numbers available.
Okay.
You can ask for a number. Obviously, if you have a specific number, you can ask for it. But sometimes people had it before or are still playing with it or whatever. So you got to change. You got to change. It was a basketball.
Earlier, Rochi, Dwayne asked about, the injuries and the setbacks, so on. I just want to ask, like, can you, dive in a little more into to the mental state that you were going through at that point in time? It all obviously caused you a few yards off the pace. You weren't going as fast. So, during that time, were you worried that, know that you aren't going to be able to bowl as fast? Were you worried about, your efficiency as a fast bowler, or, were you thinking that, you're going to have to now look at other areas other than being, the usual tier A fast bowler, to be effective as a fast bowler?
Yeah, I was worried, definitely.
You were? Okay.
Yeah, because we're not bowling fast. That's a skill. For me, that was my skill. Then all the injuries happened. I broke my shoulder. That was a major injury that caused me to lose pace. And coming back was tough. The therapy, I remember crying on therapy many times. The pain was like ridiculous. So coming back from that, I remember going to the Oval at the time.
So Kemar, a lot of courses just admitted that you shed a couple tears. Nothing wrong.
Serious pain. I shed a couple tears. Sure. I remember going to the Oval my first time back to bowling. It was just supposed to be 4 or 5 balls if Jackie chose a physio thing. When they ran up to bowl, the ball bounced like 10 balls.
Wow.
And then it became very emotional. I'm like, my career could be possibly over here. Like, I can't see myself getting back to bowling that fast again.
And how old were you at that point in time?
That was about 24, 22, 24.
Wow. The same place you wanted to peak, boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, the journey back was tough. It was very, very, very tough mentally. But it took a little longer than I expected. But lost some pace, but I gained some skill. So
yes, yeah.
Right. I would say again, your skill. It just you went back to how you were before the pace.
Right.
You just revert back. That's correct.
Yeah. So none is lost. All is not lost. So I'm still happy for that, at least.
Okay. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Here again. Would you say that there must be greater communication with the authorities when it comes to preparing the wickets in the Caribbean? Because I think you must make home advantage count. This was a great opportunity for the West Indies with LANKA coming here. Angela Matthews not even touring for the Test series. Like, this was a great opportunity, so you got to make it count. When you're going the subcontinent, other places, they're going to make it count. So
you could just say India in the row.
Yeah, that's all he wants.
You could just say India.
I think we are way behind when it comes to that. Way behind. I wouldn't even say India. When you go to Australia, for instance, Australia going to prepare. The first pitch is going to be fast and bouncy. Because their borders are going to be fresh, and they're going to give it to you that first test. Correct. Then the second test is going to be flat. So they're going to score a lot of runs and tire you up. People play to get strategic, and I think that's where we're behind in that. England, the first test is going to be probably somewhere cold, and the ball's going to sink a lot. that's how people prepare. So,
Wow, but listen, I knew I didn't see it that in depth, like, but no, clearly, no fella will watch it a little extra now to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't agree. So that's why I say I didn't agree when England started to keep a lot of noise in India because everybody's got home advantage. Everybody
got to use
that's
it.
the culture now. Got
Exactly.
utilize it.
So like I think we're behind in that. And as Nero said, this was a perfect opportunity to win back-to-back test series. I thought, look the way we bowled in the first test on the first day. The ball steamed out a little bit, and look, strikers go for 160.
And we make backwards. Correct. And we make backwards. It was baffling.
Yeah, like you just don't get it, man. And then it's hard to scrutinize a bowler when he has a ball on short pitches. It's like ridiculous. There's no assistance whatsoever. None.
I agree.
So
one more. I'm seeing that the IPL is starting on Friday. I want to ask you if you have any goals of playing again, but could you tell us about the experience when you did play?
Maybe there's IPL like that. Yeah, when I played, it was interesting. It was pretty new in IPL. I think it was the third or fourth season. I think so. It was very professional, I must say. The tournament was extremely professional. When it got to my room, everything was already organized. It was just about me getting myself ready to play. That's all I was worried about. Everything was organized. It was very, very, very transparent and a lot clearer in what they were doing and how they wanted to play cricket. So it was very easy to transition into that IPL setup. Good payday. But yeah, the cricket is very, very tough too. Very professional, must say. So I can imagine how it is now. It has probably gone leaps and bounds from when I played. So it was definitely a great experience. Definitely.
Roach, my question: what advice you would give to a youngster who is obviously watching cricket and aspiring to be a West Indies cricketer? What advice you will bring into his head, no matter what age it be?
Hard work. It's hard work, bro. Just be committed to the sport. You got to enjoy it. That's the only way you're going to excel and progressing through the sport. If you're going to be a fast bowler, it's a very, very, very tough job. There'll be ups and downs, but once you get your mind right, once you get your body right, you have more ups and downs for sure. So for a youngster growing up, it's just enjoy the sport. Try not to get too technical and stuff. Just too early. That can actually ruin you. You try to learn too fast, you can actually slow down your progress. So just enjoy the sport. If you're accustomed in swinging the ball, swing the ball. If you're accustomed bowling short, bowl short. Just enjoy the sport, and then as you play, you will learn, and then you will start to get better at doing other things. So that's it.
So all right. So Kemar, in terms of fitness, now for fast bowler. So say now, I said myself, man, I feel like I did it 3 years. Is a tech in terms of running and fitness. Like, so if I do 5 miles every day at a certain pace, that will help. Or like a technique for fast.
Well, for you to make the West Indies in 3 years, apart from fitness, it would also take a miracle, Hassan.
He says skill.
You have to have a genocide.
Hard work.
All the cricketers you can do have to be die.
That's hard work.
Honestly, there's different fitness for different departments in cricket. Fast bowling is always strength work and a lot of endurance because you got to bowl long spells and you're always running in most of the day. So that's a different part of cricket. We're a different part of fitness. Batting is more, I think, strength work, legs, your back, forearms, or whatever. Craig will tell you. Craig does it for long periods. Keeping is a lot of legs. Keeping is a lot of legs. You're bending down, spinning.
This one more fast.
Yeah, so
this one more fast. This one steaming.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work. But I think the best fitness comes from bowling. You can go in the gym, you can run on the road or the pasture or whatever. But when you bowl, you work different muscles. So That's probably the best way to get bowling fit by doing all of that. That's probably the best way.
Fair point. Any
They got a few
really
ways,
seem okay.
Before I big on the quote unquote big games, for lack of a better word.
Right.
Tell me about the 5-wicket haul against Bangladesh when it was a hamstring. You had some sort of an injury. You had 4 before you tweaked the hamstring?
Nah, I actually had 1.
Boy. Yeah.
You had 1?
Yep.
What motivated you to keep going injured? Because obviously you tweak it, you could make it worse.
It's Antigua, it's a video. You already want to put on the box of it. You really don't want to put on the box of it. In conditions like that, I wasn't going to stop. But I had to before I obviously went overboard and hurt myself more. But I tweaked my hamstring over. I think it was the second over. But it wasn't too bad. So I limped up a couple overs and I got 5 wickets in 5 overs. So
that was brilliant.
Question.
That's one. Roach, I know you mentioned your hamstrings there, and I know you had early in your career you had a no ball problem. But as you mature now, you seem to rectify it. Not only you, Shannon as well. Shannon seems to have his no ball problem under control. Anyone you want to or anyone that aid in that correction, I would say, of the no ball problem.
Yeah, definitely Corey Cullimore and Vasper Drakes. I think I spent a lot of time with them at the Oval trying to rectify it. I was just overstriding too much at the end. And then I had a period where I was chipping too much in the middle. So for me, it was just my strike pattern. I was trying to be as consistent as possible. Once I get to the crease on balance, and then I won't go over the line as much. But you're always going to bowl in the ball or two. But you try to push extra hard, you're always going to bowl in the ball. But it is a problem if you're bowling 2 and the balls are over, 3 and the balls are over. It definitely is a problem. So I did a lot of work with Corey and Vasti. But it was quickly fixed. In about a year, I got it fixed quickly.
Yeah. Sonny was saying something before.
Right. All right. On the county stink to Surrey. First of all, Surrey, thank you. You take care of one of West Indies best, please. We need him back for the Australian series. So how did that stink came about?
They contacted me when I was in Bangladesh. I think it was. They weren't sure at the time because there's a very strict COVID protocol down here. So they weren't sure if it was going to be on or not. So they put me on a short list and they told me to keep me involved and obviously abreast of what's going on. So when they got to Antigua preparing for the Sri Lanka series, they then confirmed that they're interested in me. And it just went from there. So I'm looking forward. Well, kinda. It's really cold. It's like 5 degrees or 6 degrees. It actually snowed on Tuesday. A little bit.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to it, but I'm still not looking forward to the cold. So
perfect conditions for moving ball.
I hope so.
What are some of the mates? I saw Roy Burns is one of your teammates. Who else? Any other names that we might know?
Yeah, Liam Plunkett is also in the team. I think English opener Storman, he's also part of the club. There's Ben Folks, he's a keeper. There's Ollie Pope, middle order.
Oh yeah, Ollie Pope, yeah.
Got squad.
Yeah, pretty good squad, man. Pretty good squad. I'm looking
excited to be facing Craig too.
There's also the legend Hashim Amla. Don't forget that.
Oh Lord.
Jeez. Yeah.
So I'm definitely looking forward to the guys next week, man.
And so Craig Gloucester is in your same division as y'all as well?
We're supposed to play them tomorrow. They're actually the first game. Craig is not playing.
And you're not playing. That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. Definitely following the Sri Lanka series. Definitely.
Yeah. I will be following. I know they don't really show a lot of English first class, but I will probably tune into the socials just to keep progress. Yeah.
Cool.
Think you'll do good. Like ball probably moving about this time of year in England.
I look forward to it. I really look forward to it.
Any
I got two more for you, Kemar. Two more, and then the 2011 World Cup, that hat trick. That let me get work late. Well, not let me get work late. It was like I bet cross the road. And it was showing. I tell myself, well, I gotta get back in late. I gotta sleep again. Talk us through that experience and how that went.
Yeah, long time. It was good. Good. That was my first World Cup. I think we just had a pretty good side. Sammy, Chris Gale, Pollard, Robbie Paul was there as well. It was a pretty good side, man. I was just young. I was young and exciting, I guess. So I honestly have to get kudos to Otis Gibson, who was a coach at the time. And I think he's one of the best fast-bowling coaches in the world, I must say. We had a really good relationship, and I learned a lot from him. When I met him, my bowling just escalated to the top quickly. So I had a good relationship with him, and that World Cup was just that's part of the word that I was put in. It was good. It was a good feeling. Netherlands, probably not one of the best sides in the world, but it's still a hat trick. It's still a hat trick.
Hat trick.
Yeah. On a big stage as well. So yeah,
exactly.
A defining moment in my career.
Yeah.
One question to you.
Oh.
We see you playing a lot of red ball cricket now. Are you finished with white ball, or do you have aspirations of playing white ball cricket for West Indies?
Honestly, I didn't retire from white ball cricket. I didn't. I thought I had a decent World Cup. I thought I had a decent top 90 World Cup in England also. But others thought different.
So what you say they do, like Jimmy, they did you like Jimmy and Broad, you're test cricket, you're playing test cricket.
Yeah, they put me into that bracket now. They put me into test cricket and whatever. I don't agree with it, but those are higher powers, so I'm not going to challenge. So yeah, I would definitely like to play one cricket, a couple more one cricket games again. 20 format, I don't think so. I'm not going to get involved with that. But the one day format, I miss it a little bit. I really do.
One last thing. Like back here in Barbados growing up as a bowler, so jostle against the wall to get the wickets and always looking like that. So like in the senior team between you and Shannon is be like that as well. Man, you only get fights today. You only get
We always have our thing. We always have our little goals. We always go for who gets the most wickets this series. That's always our thing. So before the series starts, we train. We spend a lot of time together. We train a lot together. Do the gym together. We do our spot bowling together. We have a lot of thoughts and like a lot of planning.
Excuse me.
So our connection is like very strong. I really enjoy bowling with him. I enjoy bowling all the other guys too, but me and Shannon are really close.
That's a tandem.
Yeah, we're really close on and off the field. Like we do everything together, mostly everything together. So we always have our little goals, and it's not fighting. I'm glad for him. I'm sure he's glad for me. So whatever, our job is just get the 10 wickets and get off. We like to sleep too. So just get the 10 wickets and get off and let the batsman do the job.
However that happens. But if Shannon like to play cover drive, he probably gonna be all right. He's soon gone.
Overcover. Colin, you had another question, or that was?
I was gonna ask Roach. I heard you mention you play under a few captains. Who would you say managed Kemar Roach as a captain the best?
Without stepping on any corners,
My first major captain will have to be Sammy. Chris Gale was my first captain for sure, but he didn't captain much. Like he captained 5 test games, I think it was. But Sammy was probably my first long-term captain for the West Indies. And I thought he did a good job. Jason then followed up with him after that. It was a little short stint of Ramdin, but Jason followed on another long stint. And I thought Jason did a fantastic job. People, the powers that be, see different, and they made the decisions. But Craig has captained me up for Barbados for a very long time now, like 4 or 5 seasons. So I know.
Ain't nothing new.
Yeah, and new for me is like Jason. It doesn't. Yeah, it's either or.
22.
Yeah. Who did a great job. So I adjust and just adapt to whoever comes. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, you know, regardless, you can get ball first or be there. So, potato. Everybody already know it could change. Kemar Roach will always ball the first or be there. Like that is the end of the debate. Good.
No further discussion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, you have another question?
Yeah, I can't let you go without asking about the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Peter Vaughan. What has he meant to your career? Like,
Vaughan, yeah. A lot of praise go to Vaughan. And Mr. Stricker as well. I don't know any guys that know Mr. Stricker.
Yeah, Mr. Stricker.
Yeah.
He taught me the fundamentals. He taught me the basics. Mr. Stricker was from primary school. And then Vaughan just took over and just taught me the advanced stuff. So, yeah, a lot of praise go to Vaughan, man. From school, he was, I won't say he was tough or strict. He would give a slap on your head if you mess up.
Yeah, for sure.
But he was a really fun, cool guy. He was a really cool person, and he was always teaching despite whoever. Like, he knew a little about everything. So, and he was playing as well, and he was performing. Sure. So if you have someone that's playing and doing well at the age he was at, they gotta listen. They gotta like take in some of what he's saying.
Both pace and then both off breaks.
Both pace, and then hit the ball far. Hit the ball far going back. So like Vaughan played a major part in my career, man. We're still close up to this day. We're still close. We still speak. He still lends our voice of what he thinks I can do better or whatever. And yeah, like you can't leave someone like that out of your life. You have to keep him with you as long as you can. So
it's probably one of your harshest critics too. God, he would tell you as it is.
Yeah, he will tell me the honest truth. So it's Corey Cullimore. They pick up the phone and it isn't always good things. They're going to tell me exactly, Kemar, you both crap, you both foolish, and they will tell me why and what I could do better. And then you just learn. That's a connection you have with them. So I really enjoyed the friendship you have with them, man. I'm going to keep them around as long as I can.
Okay, guys, I want to move on to the series review, Sri Lanka, and I want to get Kemar's take on how the series went as well. But at the end of our last show last week, West Indies, we needed to get some early wickets and then look to post a total for Sri Lanka to go and get. Eventually, Sri Lanka held on. We had some rain delays, but Sri Lanka, they pretty good fight, and they held on for the draw. But in general, I thought it was a series. I was pretty proud of the West Indies. Yes, I would have liked the series win, but like I said, these things happen, and I thought like Craig Brathwaite. It was good to see Craig. He was captain in that series, and he looks comfortable at the top of the order again. I mean, Craig is someone we all know. You're following cricket. Craig is always amongst the runs. So there was never any doubt that Craig would get back to scoring heavily. So that was a plus to me. Bonner, he also chipped in with another crucial match saving innings as well. So that was pretty good to see. Kemar is also he's showing he's definitely capable and able to play at the highest level. And he has some half centuries in the series, and he also picked up some crucial wickets at some very crucial times for the skipper when called upon. So that was definitely a plus. Jason Holder looks like, I don't know, he looks charged up. He looks like, even batting, even when Jason is at the crease, Jason just looks like he's gonna score runs. He looks like, a lot of people see Jason as a bowling all rounder, but I think Jason could bat just really actually. He has the ability to bat just as good as he can bowl and truth. So I mean, and you know, in the field, he sings and he's chirping a lot. So that itself there seems to be a huge plus for me going forward as well. And it's good to see Cornwall getting some runs down in the order.
Oh man, Jimbo.
Yeah, I was a little critical on him prior to this series because he wasn't really doing anything with the bat. He was actually getting out. It's very silly in my opinion. So it was very good to see Jimbo chipping at the bottom of the innings with the bat. And I think the bowlers, we had some pretty good performances with the bowling. But I guess I just want to get the guys' take on how the series went. Really, I can start with you here before we get into the others.
For me, it was a pretty good series. As Kemar said, as the guy said earlier, home advantage should count. And we got to prepare pitches for our bowlers. Give the bowlers a word with, for lack of a better word. And the law draw is better than a one-day loss or anything, so we'll take that. I just hope that. We've seen the improvement from Bangladesh. We see the guys carrying on. We see Bonner scoring some runs. We see Kyle scoring some runs. And like you said, JS taking some wickets at crucial times. Just go from strength to strength. I just want to see the guys go from strength to strength and bring West Indies cricket back where it belongs. I thought. But for sure, we got to give the guys something to work with. As Kemar said, we bowled up Sri Lanka 160 something on the first, before we the batting on the first evening. And then you can put this wet flat and
flat track.
Yeah. That's right. That's not right.
That was the last for the wicket. That was the last that was the last breath. Cardiac arrest.
So hopefully we get that right. Give our bowlers something to work with to take 20 wickets. And let me get the cricket back where it belongs.
Okay. Before I move on to the next person, for those who would have joined us after the start, we have some sponsors tonight. Essentials by V, who sells cell phone accessories. SOS Sauce on Saturdays by our very own Dwayne Collymore, and Juice Blends, who sells some very nice natural juices. We have some giveaways tonight, as I would have alluded to earlier. So I just gonna ask some couple questions, and for those who are viewing, you can just answer in the comments, and we will notify you, and you can just send us a message on our Instagram page. So the first question I have for you is when did Kemar Roach make his Test debut? When and against who did Kemar Roach make his Test debut? Like I said, you could send the answer in the comments. So Fed, I can hear. You can go ahead with the series review.
I thought it was a good series. I thought that the players, it showed a level of consistency coming from Bangladesh. The expectations were high. It's good to see that the batters who performed in Bangladesh continue that form. To me, the team just looked energized. As just mentioned, Jason looked like a man that get baptized. You know what I'm saying? Like the world lifted off his shoulder and he just free. I hear Jason sledging. It was refreshing, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think from this series, I still think we need a batter. I would say a out and out batsman in between. I would not call an option, but as we see, the pool is big. The pool is very big, and I think that is a good thing for West Indies cricket, because I said we've been missing for a little while. It's just recycling and simple. So it's good to see competition for places. I just hope that this will carry on into even if it's not away games. I just wish that it would carry on for the home games. You understand? Like, put a fight at home. Let people come to the backyard and think that. And if you have been watching international cricket over the couple of years, you can see that is the trend. That tends to be the trend, that you know, the teams is dominating at home. Like India can dominate England, but when India get to England, Jimmy and them boys can be chirping. You see it with Australia,
New
you know,
Zealand.
dominate you at home. You
Yeah.
understand? So I just think that we need to get on board with that trend. As Roach alluded to, I think we're a little behind when it comes to curating of the wickets. And not only, I don't think, I can't only blame the curation of the wickets. I think that sometimes, as I mentioned in previous shows, the selection, we tend to select, we tend to fear that I could rest a quick bowler here, or I could bring in an extra batsman for this game. And Roshi mentioned that you can see, as he said, when you go to Australia, the first pitch, bouncy, bowlers fresh, but the second pitch can be flat because then batters can they can slaughter. So I think these are slight adjustments that we can make going forward in home series. But all in all, Jess, I would say the series of a game, I would like a result in the first test, but I would give the series a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Okay, fair assessment. Fair assessment. Yeah, fair assessment. Mr. Nero.
I'm still here. To be honest, I still think it was an opportunity missed. But one thing I can't say I wouldn't fight the effort. The effort was superb from the fast bowlers, especially. Although everybody didn't have their lines on particular days, the effort bowling on those flat wickets, I can't fault that. Craig and Bonner batting days individually, that is not nothing everybody could get up and do. That is great mental strength, and whatever they're doing, continue to do it. We just gotta get the team operating as a collective and go from strength to strength. But one thing I can't fight the effort. The effort was great.
Definitely.
Long may it last.
Definitely. We have Jabbar Corbin. He was he answered. He gave the correct answer. He was the first person. July 2009 against Bangladesh. So like I said, Jabbar, you could just send us a message on our Instagram page, and we'll be in contact with you. I just want to ask the second question before I go to you, Hassani. So the second question is, how many 5-wicket hauls does Kemar Roach have in Test cricket? That's how many 5-wicket hauls does Kemar Roach have in Test cricket? Hassani, yeah, you could give your review, please.
Yeah. All in all, I'm pleased with the effort. I won't be the 7 out of 10, yeah, but that I would probably give the pitch a bad rating. But on a flat track, that the guys with the fast bowlers were still running in, which I was very impressed with. And honestly, the no fans was a blessing and a curse. You know, a curse for the bowlers that they know the fans not around, but a blessing for us at home watching, cause the stump mic, I was enjoying the banter on the stump mic. I know, man. I know you want about me.
You want about me.
You want about me, man. You want about me, man. So, like that, like we as fans, we don't get to hear that really unless it's really you're right there. The person is right there by the mic. But being that it was so quiet, his stump mic was picking up everything from both Sri Lanka and West Indies. But obviously, the West Indian guys were extremely vocal behind the crease. So, which I really enjoyed. I mean, the flat wickets. I was not a fan of taking the Test series to Antigua because the record in Antigua, yes, the bowlers take wickets, but the tradition don't get results. Lara scored 400. Lara got twice there. Gill has a triple century there, so it's not known for wicket taking. I was hoping, saying, man, we should just carry them to Sabina Park. Even bring them here. Well, Jamaica, COVID. I got time with the COVID, but normally
COVID protocols probably played a part in it.
Yeah, COVID was pretty high in Jamaica currently. So all in all, to me, I'm actually glad for once. I'm sure Kemar as a bowler, like the guy's batting the day, like as a fast bowler, he gets to put his feet up. You got to put your feet up. You know, before you bowl up, also again 2 days you feel that quick, so you're back bowling again. So I guess all of that prevents injuries and strain on the fast bowlers because they're able to rest and recuperate and be able to stay fresh. But I give everyone was pleased with the effort. You know, as it says, a step in the right direction, and we just continue to go from here. You know, it's a one-day T20 series next against Australia. Let's capitalize on that and continue to progress in the good form to continue on for the rest of the year.
Okay. And Anita Howard was
It's Kevin Howard or his mother's. don't know what your boy don't use you on YouTube.
well, I'm going with what I say here, but Kevin Howard, he was the winner of the second question with 9. Kemar Roach has 9 5-wicket hauls in Test cricket. And the final question, what is Kemar Roach's highest score in Test cricket? Yeah, that is the final question. What's his highest score in Test cricket? And so, Kemar, I'm going to finish off with you here. I just want to get your assessment on the series in general.
Tough series from a bowling point of view, but as everyone said, the guys really stuck to the task. I think it started from the way we planned. I think we planned really well for this series. We have a good analyst. We had a really good discussion before the first test. And it showed on the first day. It really showed on the first day that our plans were spot on and we executed very well. From batting point of view, I thought the batsmen really came to the party. They followed up from Bangladesh. I thought they did a fantastic job in Bangladesh. And they came back to the Caribbean. Craig leading from the front again. It's really good to see him in the lean period. When that happens in all careers, everyone has a lean period. And his work ethic never changed. People would not see it. No one sees the behind the scenes stuff. But Craig has one of the best work ethics in the team. He's very routine. He gets up in the morning. He knows what he wants to do. He goes to the ground early. He bats balls before. He bats balls during. He visualizes on the pitch. Craig, he's definitely someone to look up at. If you're a young batsman growing up, Craig is definitely someone you need to look up to. So it was not surprising to see him get 100 in the 80. It was not surprising at all. Warner followed on with his fantastic form, and they have really good hopes for Kyle. Kyle Mears, former Alexander man too. I'm on the as well. Yeah, but who knows Kyle? No, Kyle is a very tough character.
He's always serious. Always serious.
He's cool. He's just doing stuff, but when it comes to batting, very fearless, very fearless, and it's good to have that in your team. Like other teams, England has Ben Stokes. England has Ben Stokes, and then Australia has Mitchell Marsh. Those guys. So like, it's good to have that in the team. Someone that would take on the bowlers at any stage. But he's young in his career now. He will understand. He will play more. He will understand what it takes to get to that 100 mark. And his bowling is coming on very well. He's probably just as skillful as anyone else in the team. He has a knack for getting wickets as well. People didn't know about first class cricket for Windward. He played for Windward quite a bit. He's probably a bowling all-rounder. And he did a pretty good job for them for Windward. So to see his batting coming on, I always tell him to don't let your bowling drift. Don't keep working on your bowling, because that's what's going to keep you in the team. But at some stage, your batting will have a lean period. That's cricket.
Yeah, that's cricket. Yeah.
Once you're bowling well, you'll always be in the side. You'll always. So he's young. Got to work on his fitness a little bit, but he has a great future for the middle order in Test cricket, and I can see him play some with cricket as well very soon.
For sure.
The batsman came to the party. I thought, everyone did a pretty good job. Just didn't get the wickets we would like. A little bit more bounce, and I thought we would have eked out a win in one of those Test matches. But all in all, good series, and it's definitely a template for South Africa in June.
June or Australia?
South Africa.
South Africa comes first. It comes to one.
South Africa in June.
Test?
We have tests first, against South Africa in June. Early June.
That'd be sweet. Football, we just can get them. We need them.
Tamisha Lewis was the person who gave the correct answer for the third question. Kemar Roach's highest score in Test cricket, which is 41. And Kemar, like we were speaking of earlier, I was watching cricket for a long time, even back in Alexandria, and I know you have that batting ability. You had to score some runs, down at the bottom of the order, even when the likes like Akeem Nero
always
quite get off at the top of the order. you asked and then come in at the bottom and
especially in the big games.
Respectable. So I know you have that ability.
I fed up a lot, man, in those days. Do what I had to do.
I would really like to see at least one half century, because I know the ability is there.
I promise you two.
Promise you two. I can always get to that one. So like I said, the winners, Jabbar, Kevin Howard, and Tamisha Lewis. You could just send a message to us on our Instagram page, and we will be in contact with you. And Kemar, I had 2 questions here. I just want to ask quickly before we wrap up. Kevin Howard asks, how do you recover after a hard day in the field?
Yeah, recovery, interesting.
Yeah.
All those who know ice baths, yeah.
Ice boy.
Not the best feeling. It's good for recovery. It's
okay.
That's the first minute. The first minute is very painful. Very painful. After that, your body goes numb. And then, it's really relaxing and stuff. But ice baths, sometimes a very, very late gym session. Sometimes very, very seldom. And stretching. A lot of stretching. And a good meal. And early sleep. That's probably the best way to recover after a long day. So it takes a lot, though.
Okay. And the next question we have, someone was asking, Kemar Roach, now that our cricket is on the rise, they basically asking, how would you personally help in the bowling department?
Yeah, I share knowledge as much as I can. Soon, Al-Zari will probably be leading the West Indies attack. So, me and Shannon are in our mid-30s now. He's 30, 20s. So, at some stage, he'll have to lead the attack for the West Indies. So, I try to teach him as much as I can. It's good to see him over here in England as well. He can learn a lot from his professional leagues. So, it's good to have him over here as well to add to his game some more. But he has immense talent. He has the ability to swing the ball at good pace, and he's young. Exciting. So it's good to have him over here, man, and let him learn a little bit more about bowling, and he can take it back to the Caribbean in the next series, and obviously get some wickets for us. So I'm always willing to help the young fast bowlers. Okay.
Well, Hassan, you had something before we close?
I have a request from a fan. Want a fan. You see a guy Jabbar Carbon, a big fan like, from the inception. He said, Sonny, you gonna make this my wish. He said, Sonny, all I want, he already got a frame for it. All he needs is a Kemar Roach autograph that's in his jersey. He said he already got a frame. He got all he needs to put his jersey in it, and that's his only request ever. He's a young father. He wants to be able to tell his daughter, look, Kemar Roach. He want to tell her that story. So that was my request.
All right, he got game late. Was it on the road shirt too?
I didn't get to there, no.
Yeah. But tell him that, I'll make sure you get a shirt when they get back from England for a couple of days. I'll get a shirt over to Nero, and Nero can get it.
All right. Thank you.
Well, Kemar, I really want to thank you for taking the time out to join us. Oh, sorry, Nero, you have something else to say. Sorry, go ahead.
Before you go,
right,
just one thing. Who would you like to see on bench talk? But before you answer, you gotta plug me in. Who would you like to see on bench talk, man?
Craig. Knowledge. That's your knowledge there. That's knowledge.
Okay.
Well, you know what to do. Thank you.
Well, like I was said earlier, Kemar, I really want to thank you for taking the time out to join us. Like I said, I know it's in the wee hours in the morning over there in England, so I know you must be tired. And I also want to wish you all the best in your season coming up with Surrey. Wish you nothing but the best going forward.
Thank you, man. Thank you a lot, guys.
Thanks a lot, Roach. Tell Surrey be sure to post the stats. Don't miss nothing. We need to see them. We need to.
They definitely will.
even the scorecard card, I put left-handed or right-handed column so we could just we could just keep mental notes.
Gotcha.
And I also want to thank the sponsors tonight. Once again, Essentials by V, SOS, Sauce on Saturdays, and Juice Blends. Special thanks to the sponsors as well. So once again, everyone, thanks for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And have a good night, everyone.
Cheers, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, Lord.